Hello, I'm Oliver from Cyber Seniors, and today I'm going to be presenting a webinar on video calling. We will be going over what video calling is, several different video calling applications, going through how to download these applications on both mobile devices as well as things like PCs or laptops, and how to start a call. So, what is video calling? Video calling is similar to a phone call, but you can see the video coming from the other person. And so it is the closest thing to face-to-face communication that we have that we can still do over a long distance. It is very useful if you're trying to communicate with more than just words like facial expressions, raised shoulders, that sort of thing. And it can just feel nice to see somebody else's face while you're talking to them. Another feature of video calling is that you can have group calls, where you have many different people in one call all at once, and you can see all of them. This is useful for things like happy hours, where you might get together with your friends. Each of you sets up your laptop in your living room, and you have 4 of you in your own houses on video, all maybe drinking tea or something and talking. Now, there are some downsides to video callings, such as that to set it up, all of the participants have to have the same video calling application. So if I'm using Skype and somebody else is using FaceTime, we cannot call each other. If your video or if your internet is acting up, if your internet connection is bad, then this can make your video blurry, it can make your audio quality poor, it can make you cut out. And video calling is a lot more taxing on the internet than a lot of other things, or than just regular voice calling. Now, there are many video calling applications, but in this presentation, we will go over 6 of them. They all have pros and cons, which we will go over, but they also all have the same basic functionality, which is calling someone with a video. The first app that we are going over is Google Hangouts. Now, some individual things about it are that you can have a maximum of 10 participants. Now, this doesn't mean 10 people. This just means 10 devices. So if you had 2 people standing behind the same iPad so that everyone could see them, that would only count as 1 participant, which is one thing to keep in mind. Another thing about Google Hangouts is that there is no time limit, which is very convenient. And it works on Apple and Android mobile devices, as well as Apple and Windows computers. Next is Google Duo, which is the app that we will be showing you how to download. With Google Duo, your maximum is slightly increased to 12 participants. There is a time limit of 25 hours, although I don't know how you would reach that time limit. And it works on Apple and Android mobile devices, as well as Apple computers and Windows computers. Next is Skype, and you can have a maximum of 50 participants on Skype. There is a time limit of 10 hours a day and 100 hours a month for Skype. And so if you plan on using Skype frequently, then you might want to consider another option. However, it does work for Apple and Android mobile devices, as well as Apple computers and Windows computers. Next is Zoom, which is the most professional option. It's oriented towards businesses, although during this coronavirus pandemic, it has been shifting to be more friendly to its users who are not paying. And so on Zoom, you can have a maximum of 100 participants. However, for free Zoom calls, there is a 40-minute time limit. And so after the 40 minutes is up, it will kick you off, although you can just rejoin the same call. And so it's just a mild inconvenience. and it works on Apple and Android mobile devices, as well as Apple and Windows computers. Next is FaceTime, which is Apple's native video calling software. And so it comes pre-installed on iPads, iPhones, MacBooks, Macintosh computers in general, which can make it very convenient as you do not have to download it. Although if your friends are using a Windows computer or an Android phone or something like that, they will not be able to download FaceTime as it only works on Apple devices. Using FaceTime, group video calls can have a maximum of 32 participants, and there is no time limit, so it is rather convenient. And finally, WhatsApp. This has a maximum number of participants of 10. There is a time limit of roughly an hour for WhatsApp video calls, and it works on Apple and Android mobile devices, as well as Apple and Windows computers. Now for downloading a video calling app, the process that we will be going through should work for every app, unless of course it doesn't work on the specific device that you are trying to download it for, like trying to download FaceTime on a Windows computer. But it may look a little different on each device, and so if you really need help downloading the app, you can always go to cyberseniors.org and sign up for a one-on-one session for additional help. For the examples we'll be giving, we'll be using Google Duo as an example, but this process should work for all video calling applications. Now for downloading Google Duo on a mobile Apple device, then first you want to find the App Store on your home screen. It should have an icon like the one on the right, which is nice light blue with A symbol on it, made of 3 ovals that kind of look like tongue depressors forming into an A. Once you are in the App Store, then you should click the Search tab on the bottom right of the screen. It is in the red box on the image on the bottom left of this slide. And once you've clicked that, then you should see the search bar, which is in the blue box in that same image in the bottom left of this slide. And it has a magnifying glass icon and that grayed out text that says App Store. It might look a little different on your device, but it should look somewhat similar. And once you've tapped on that, then you can type in Google Duo and then click Done or Search or whichever button it is. And this should bring you to the image, to a list of different apps from which you can click Google Duo to come to this image on the left and click the Get button. Once you have clicked Get for Google Duo, then it should start downloading, although it may ask you for your Apple ID password. And if it does that, then just enter that. Hopefully you have it. If you don't, that is a whole nother issue. And again, you can go to cyberseniors.org for one-on-one help. But once you click Get, then the application should download, and you should be good to go. For an Android device, Android mobile device, then you will want to find the Play Store on your home screen. And the icon for that looks like the symbol to the right. It is the play button, which is a rightwards facing triangle, which is blue, green, red, and yellow. Once you click that, then there should be a search bar at the top of the screen, such as in the image on the bottom left of this slide, with the grayed out text that says Google Play. You can tap that search bar and then type in Google Duo and search that up. Find Google Duo in the list of apps and tap it before clicking Install on this screen on the right. That green Install button should download Google Duo. It may prompt you to enter your password. Make sure you have that on hand. But again, if you can't figure out your password, you can always go to cyberseniors.org for one-on-one help. Now, to open Google Duo on your computer, you don't have to download a application. You can open it directly through your web browser. Web browsers are things like Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, or Safari. Those are all examples of web browsers. And so you most likely already have one on your computer, and you should just use whichever one you have. So open your web browser of choice, and at the top of the screen in the location bar, which as an example, we are using Google Chrome, but the location bar should be located at the top of the screen. Then you can click that and then type in duo.google.com before clicking enter, and that should take you to the Google Duo website. For other applications such as Zoom or Skype, then you could just type in the name of the application, and then hopefully it would take you to different search results, and you could click on the result which matches the name of the application, like zoom.com or skype.com. I don't know if skype.com is a real thing. Now, for Google Duo, once you have gotten to the Google Duo website, then you can click Try Duo for Web, and then you should be at a screen with a search bar in the center, which is that rectangle in the center with the little magnifying glass. You can tap or click that search bar and type in the phone number of someone who you want to call who has registered their phone number with Google Duo. And assuming they've registered it, then a pop-up should appear beneath the search bar that says View Calling Options. If you click that, then it should attempt to call them, although it will need for you to allow Google Duo to access your microphone and your camera. And keep in mind, if you are on a computer that does not have a webcam or a microphone, then they won't be able to hear you or see you. And so things like desktops, this might be an issue, but with almost all laptops, there will be a webcam and a microphone built in, so you should not have to worry about that. And with smartphones and tablets, then again, there will be microphones and cameras built in. But to allow Google Duo to access your microphone and camera, there should be a pop-up that comes down that says either allow or block. And if you click allow, then your call should go through. On mobile devices, the pop-up will look a little different. We have a picture here, which is an example of what an Apple device would show you. But clicking OK should allow access to the Google Duo app to access your microphone and camera. They may also request to show you notifications, which would mean that it could ring when you got a call, and to access your contacts, which would mean that hopefully you would be able to call people without filling in a bunch of numbers. They would already have access to the phone numbers in your phone. And so allowing these can be very useful for convenience. And now once you are in a call, your screen should look something similar to this. Every calling service, every video calling service is going to have a slightly different look to it, but they all generally use the same icons. And so the bottom image is what you would probably see on a computer, and the image on the right is what you would probably see on a mobile device like a smartphone or tablet. Now we're going to be going through what everything on this screen means, starting with their video. And so the image dominating the screen is going to be the video that you are receiving from the other person. which will most likely be of their face, assuming they position the camera correctly. Next, you have your video. There is a smaller rectangle that shows you what they are seeing so that you can position your camera correctly and to ensure that you know exactly what they're seeing in case you don't notice something is on your face or there's something behind you or something like that. Next, there is the Stop Video button, which is a video camera icon with a line through it. By clicking this, you will stop sending your video. However, you should still be able to see their video. This might be useful if you are walking somewhere, or if you are, say, in a call, but you want to go somewhere like, I don't know, the bathroom, and you don't want to be broadcasting video the whole time. This can be useful. Next is the mute feature, which will make it so that the other people in the video call cannot hear you. It stops sending sound. And so this is the microphone icon, which is a vertical oval sort of nestled inside a semicircle with a line through it. By clicking this, you will stop sending sound. They will no longer be able to hear you, which can be useful if you're talking to somebody else in the real world and you want to be courteous to the other people on the video call and not have your conversation sort of dominate it. Next is the end call button. This button lets you hang up, and it will generally be red and maybe say end call or have a phone facing downwards icon. Now on computer, there should be a full screen button, which could have, it could be these 4 L's in a square, such as is pictured in the image on screen. And this will allow you to swap between full screen, where the video call takes up the entire screen, to windowed mode, where you can do other things outside of the video call. There should also be a video orientation button, which might look something like a square with 2 L's inside of it, as pictured above. And this will let you rotate your video to make it wide or long. Now, for mobile, and this is only for mobile, not computers, you should have a flip camera button, which will allow you to swap between the front and back cameras on whichever device you're using. The icon for this button should be 2 arrows chasing each other in a circle, or something similar to that. And for both computer and mobile, there should be a settings and display button to allow you to access all the different options at your disposal. This will, on computer, most likely be a gear icon, maybe a gear icon in a box as shown. And on mobile, it will be an icon of 3 dots stacked on top of each other. If you have any questions, feel free to attend our live webinars on cyberseniors.org, or you can sign up for a one-on-one at cyberseniors.org, or you can call us, again, at the number on cyberseniors.org. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you learned something about video calls, and thank you.